Merry Christmas everyone. Gosh, hasn't that year gone quickly? I'm sat here and it's blowing a gale outside, so I just apologise for the odd whooshing sound. I'm in my conservatory and the wind is howling here in the northwest of England. So here we are, holiday season, and I thought I would just show you how to make these really cute holly and berry earrings. Really simple, quick, last minute pair of earrings for your holiday celebrations. Okay, so aren't these cute? Let's just have a quick look at these guys, how they dangle. Can you see how they dangle there? And they've got the little red beads for the berries that move with the earring. Okay, so you need very few materials for these. So I'll tell you what we need to make these little guys. So as always, just a bit of wire and a couple of beads and your general materials, okay? So for these, I'm using 0.8, 20 gauge. I'm using gold artistic wire. You can use copper or silver, whichever wire you like really. But I find that these guys work well with 0.8 or 20 gauge, okay? You're going to need a couple of little beads. I've chosen just these little glass beads for the berry sections here, little dangle things here. So these are literally really cheap glass red beads, so you can use crystals or whatever you've got in your stash really. Carnelians, you know, anything with a red hue would look perfect. Okay, so you need a couple of beads. You're going to need a ruler just to measure your lengths out. Okay, so again, my usual suspects, a pair of flush cutters, a pair of round nose pliers, and a pair of chain nose pliers. And what else do we need? A couple of knot head pins. I'm going to do a tutorial in the new year of lots of different types of cute head pins. So these guys will be coming. There are other tutorials on YouTube if you need to know how to make these little knots. But a couple of head pins, or indeed just regular gold head pins that you can buy from your local store. And an ear wire. And I think actually that is it. These guys are super simple to make. Perfect for if you just want to put yourself something together before a party. I know it's the 21st here in the UK in the afternoon, so let's go ahead and we'll make these little guys. Okay, so I'll see you in a few minutes. So the first thing we need to do is obviously cut our wire. So I've worked out that to make this earring, which measures the leaf part itself, is about 1.25 inches. So to make the actual leaf itself, I've worked out that you're going to need approximately 8 inches of wire, just to give yourself plenty of leeway. I don't know if you've watched any of my other videos, but I do say I do like to have just slightly more than I need because it just gives me a little bit of leeway. Okay. I like this artistic wire. It's not an ad or anything, but I like this for these particular pieces because it's really malleable and easy to bend. Okay, so we have our 8 inches of wire. What we need to do is to take your chain nose and find the middle point, okay, which is obviously 4 inches. And just hold the wire right at the tip of the chain nose pliers. Okay, and we want to bend this wire in half. Okay, so bend it in half, and we want to squish this part here. Now it's going to want to work against you, so just be patient and keep squishing. There we go, until we get this point here. Okay, so you've just seen that you've squished that middle part together. Okay, so just straighten it all up. The next thing you want to do is to bring in your round nose and pop your round nose pliers right at the end about, whoops, yep, that'll happen to you, don't worry, about here, okay? And then literally bend the wire so you have that, okay? You see that? So that basically is this section here at the bottom. Okay, so keeping everything nice and neat, you're going to make your first point, okay, which is here. So bring in your chain nose and hold around there. Bend inwards, okay, so you have that. And then gently squish this wire as best you can. You tied it all up at the end anyway, so okay. So when you have this part here, you need to bend this guy around like so. Okay, can you see how that works? Like this section here, this little point here. Okay, so we'll do it again. Take your pliers, about so, bend inwards, give it a bit of a squish. The wire will want to work against you because that's what wire does, as we know. And again, this shorter wire here, bend away outwards. Okay, tidy things up as you're going, or you can tidy it up at the end, so I'll show you how to do that as well. Okay, so this is what we're left with now. So we have the bottom point and 2 points here, and we'll do one more. Bend it inwards, give it a little bit of a squish, not too tight though, you know, so you've got like a little loop like so. And then the shorter wire again, pull it outwards. Not too far this time, because this part here is going to form the rest of the earring, okay? So that's one side done, okay? So turn it around and we'll do the other side. Okay, so hold like so, bend it inwards over your plier, give it a little squish and bend this guy outwards. Okay, so can you see what we've got forming here? So we do need to do this twice more on this side. Don't want it too far out here because obviously you're going to have a massive point. So I would say, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. Bend it inwards, squish it very gently. Perhaps a little bit more there, Sam. There we go. Again, bend it outwards. So you have a nice arc here. Okay. Now obviously, as you well know, holly leaves aren't completely symmetrical, so it's fine if they're not exactly opposite each other. You don't want them to be too symmetrical, do you? Because that's not how nature is. Okay, one more on this side. So we hold it around here, bend it inwards, give it a little squish. Okay, and again, bend it outwards. Okay, so this is what we have now. So we have the shape of the leaf and then these two pieces of wire coming upwards. Okay, so now the next part that we need to do is this section here. So we have to secure one wire around the other. Okay, so again, this is one of those designs where you really don't have to be too exact, so don't panic too much. Hold with your chain nose pliers, bend this one over on a 90-degree angle. Is that 90 or is that 45? Oh, I don't know. This angle anyway. I never was very good at mathematics. But anyway, here we go. And then round. And just literally round. And if you like it scrappy, make it scrappy. If you like it neat, make it neat. Okay, so this is where you can manipulate your wire a little bit. So there we go. So come in with your cutters just at the back. Gosh, can you hear that wind? I hope it's not too disturbing for you guys. It's not taken away from the video at all. It's very windy. There you are. So secured quite happily there. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, so can we see? Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to create a little loop here to add your little beads on. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that. So you come in with your round nose pliers, not too big, but enough to secure the dangles. Okay, so about here I'd say. Wind this wire forward over the round nose plier and then back under the plier, so we have this. Can you see that? And that's what we have. Okay, so just straighten this up a little bit. Okay, so as you can see, we're all straightened up and quite happy. If at this point you want to sort of manipulate your leaf a little, that's absolutely fine. Widen it out a little bit. There we go, that looks a little better, doesn't it? And then tuck it inwards a little bit, so we've got sort of a cup of, you know, sort of a little bit of shape to it. I think, as we know, you know, holly leaves and leaves in nature aren't completely symmetrical, so just have a play and see how you feel about it. Okay, there we are. So literally that's the leaf. I mean, you know, that was super easy, wasn't it? The next thing we need to do is the beads. So I have got a couple of knotted head pins here that I've made myself. Like I said, you can use just regular head pins, ball pins, make your own, make them with different flourishes on the end, whatever you fancy. So what I do is I make one a little shorter than the other so that they're not bashing against each other. I don't know if you can see that there. One is slightly longer than the other. Okay, so come in with your little beads. I think these are these 6mm? I think these might be 6mm. Okay, so I would probably go if you hold it up against where you think your loop might be. Yeah, I think that looks okay, doesn't it? Don't want it to be too down here or too up here, so yeah, I think that looks about right. So again, make a regular wire wrap loop, come in with your round nose. You've made these guys before, you know how to make these. Okay. And for me, I just wind the wire rounds 2 or 3 times. Doesn't have to be, you know, an exact number, just whatever you think looks neat. Probably 3 times for me. 2 and then 3. Okay. So snip this off at the back and just give it a little bit of a tidy up and just pinch that little guy in place there. Okay, so that's the first one. Do the second. Just thread the little bead through. I think I bought these little beads in Manchester actually. The little bead shop isn't there anymore, sadly. So I think we need more bead shops in Britain. There doesn't seem to be very many. Maybe I'll open one up one day. Okay, so the second one, make it a little shorter so that it's not interfering. So again, over. Take your round nose, over. Make your wrap loop. Yeah, just a slight touch shorter. Perhaps it could have been a little shorter, but ooh, that wind, heavens. Could have been a little shorter, that one, but for the purposes of this, just make that a little shorter. A couple of millimeters will do it probably. Okay, so wrap around and around. That's perfect. Give it a snip, and again just tidy things up at the back like so. Okay, so there's your 2 little berries. Okay, so we now need to fit those berries onto this loop. All right, so let me just get rid of this lot. So you need to open this loop just ever so slightly. Okay, so you see that? Just so it'll take these little beads, okay? Pop that bead on, just pop it into place. And this bead, you see? So that's hanging off that little loop. So when those little beads are in place, just tidy this guy up a little bit, okay? And as you can see, we've got those 2 little guys hanging off that loop. So this is where you come in and just straighten things up a little bit. And if you're happy, which I am, okay, you see that? Okay, so the last thing we need to do is to make this little hook here in order to put the ear wire on. Okay, so because this hoop is facing you, you want to turn this guy sideways to make this loop here. So just come in with your round nose and literally just make a little wire wrap loop again. Can you see that? Okay. And then close this guy up. So again, just hold and just close it up. Again, these are really quick and easy, so they don't have to be super neat, just whatever you're happy with. And then just take just a little edge off Okay, just make sure things are just tidy. And there we have it. There's your earring. Just straighten this guy up if you need to. Okay, so have a play about. Just make sure that everything is in place and nice and neat. Open up the ivy a little bit, bend it through a little bit to give it a little bit of a cup shape. I think if you look at ivy, in fact I'll place a picture here. I think I took some photographs of some ivy the other day, just whilst I was working out how to make these, and you will find that ivy sort of cups up. It's not completely flat, so if you want to give your earrings a little bit of shape, that's also fine. So there we go, that's it. So all you need to do now is to grab your ear wire and with the loop facing you, you know, this loop here that holds the beads, pop it on and close it up. And there we have it. That is your super quick and easy holly earrings. I mean, how sweet are those? I think if you just want to make a quick present for someone, a quick gift for a colleague or family member, just to celebrate the holiday period, I think they're really, really sweet. Super easy to make. I really hope that you like having a go at making these guys, literally with the simplest of ingredients, I call them, materials. Have fun. Let me know how you do in the comments, and I hope you all have a very, very Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year, and we'll see you again in the new year when I have a whole raft of new videos coming, which I hope you're going to enjoy. All right, so I will see you soon, and I will see you on the other side of New Year. Take care. Bye.